Now, I did things that were going to make me money, okay? I didn't spend my time doing things that weren't making me money. Everything that I did was very, very productive. I built my business, or at least my inviting part, in 5 to 10 minute increments at a time. Every time I was in my mortgage office, and let's say I finished up with one client, and it was 2 o'clock, and the next one came in at 2:15, I knew I had 15 minutes. And at 15 minutes, I had a list everywhere I went. I had the yellow notepad I carried with me everywhere. And I had names and names on that list. So if I had a 10, 15-minute break, I was getting to that list and making as many calls that I can in that 10, 15-minute period. I was super focused, and all my invites were 30 to 60 seconds. They were short, simple, to the point, but I got my point across. I just took massive, massive action. In the beginning, I showed people one-on-one. I showed people at in-home presentations, and I also used the once-a-week meeting we had on Thursdays when I had other speakers. Steve came down. We had Ray Monty come down. I was sitting in the audience somewhere. I was trying to stay far away from them picking on me or calling me to come up and speak, but I got people there. I mean, I had minimum, like on a bad day, I had 5 guests at the meeting. I mean, I would try to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at every single meeting. You know, I would call 10 people in a short period of time, but I would call more. See, people, you know, let's say the meeting is on Thursday. People will make some invitation calls on the Monday, get a couple people to say yes, and then they just stop. I'm like, what's wrong with Tuesday, Wednesday, and half of Thursday? Why not call more people? Why are you getting so satisfied with those results? Do more in a shorter period of time. Because not even the best people in the industry are going to get every person to come down. Right? Everybody's not going to show up. You want to invite more people because some things are going to come up in people's lives and they can't get there. So you want to do as much as you can. So that's how I built it. People always ask me, how did you do it with such a limited schedule? Guys, I only put in probably 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 hours a week. It was 1 hour a week going to a meeting. It was maybe doing 1 or 2 in-homes. It was maybe dropping off a video, but a lot of it was just making invitation phone calls to people to find out who was open to making money. Here's what you got to find out. People try to overcomplicate this business and make it more complicated than really what it is. You want to find out if someone is open to making money, and I'll show you a few different invites in a little bit, but find out if they're open, and then you need to buy time and make appointments and show the plan. So when I say buy time, what do I mean? There's 168 hours in every week. Not day. There's 168 hours in a week. So everybody's time is valuable. Wouldn't you agree? Everybody has a family, a business. They have different activities. People have to sleep. So time is valuable for people. Right? People got to be on Facebook and watching TV, so time is important. So we have to get somebody, once they say they're open, we want them to take time out of their life, out of their schedule, to be able to sit down with you or look at or come to a presentation. And when I do invites, guys, I don't get off the phone until I have a firm, solid appointment. I do not get off the phone. I'm relentless. I don't get off that phone. You'll never ever hear me say next week. Everything I do is just like a right now type of thing. Right? I'm a just do it type of person. I believe we got something huge and tremendous and it could help change their life for the better. So why would I say, yeah, we'll just meet up next week? It doesn't sound that important. I'd be like, I got the greatest thing. I got to see you immediately. Where are you right now? Can you meet me for lunch? Could I see you after work? What time tonight works best? 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock? Good. I'll see you then. So my invites were just short and sweet, on the phone, off the phone, making a firm, solid appointment. Finding out if someone's open, getting them to agree to meet you for probably 30, 40 minutes time. If you're showing a 20-minute presentation, you want to try to get that person to meet for at least 30 to 40 minutes. And then just show that presentation, show the plan. Guys, my 2 greatest tools, and they're in the back, Success from Home magazine and a video. That's all I did. I know every single story in every single magazine over the years, because there's stories in those magazines that relate to people, right? So when I'm going to sit down with an insurance agent, I'm showing Steve's story. I go to sit down with a basketball coach, I'm showing Coach's story. I sit down with a school teacher, I'm showing Tian Bowie's story. And I show stories. Stories relate to people. So I know every one of them. If you look at my little briefcase that I carry in my bag, I have every single issue in that bag. I know every single story in those magazines. And I show the presentation. You want to relate with people. Share stories that relate to them. All right, so now I'm going to get into some of the invitations. So when I first started, I had a very, very simple invitation. As I did this longer and came up with some different creative ways to speak and talk to people, I'm going to share with you some of them as well. But in the beginning, my invitation was really short, simple. That's why I call it my simple invitation. So let's say I'm in between mortgage appointments. I have my list of people. I have 10 minutes to make some phone calls. I'll try to make 5, 10 calls in that time period to invite them to look at a presentation. So I go and call up John on that list. Hey John, it's Mike Oba. How you doing, buddy? Oh, how the kids? How's everything going? Quick, right to the point. John, you got a minute? I got to get through an appointment in a few minutes. So I always try to say, like, I got to be somewhere in a few minutes. I got to be short and quick. That I don't have to be on the phone too long. So here's what I say. I say, hey John, listen, I just started a part-time business. I'm real excited about it. Not sure if it's something that would be for you, but do you keep your options open on making more money? And I was silent. I just wait for an answer. 95% of the people told me yes. Now at that point, I'd say, great. Are you home later on about 4 or 5 o'clock? Yes, I'll see you then. Well, that's no good, Mike. I'm still at work. Okay, how about tonight? Does 7 o'clock work or does 8 o'clock sound better? 8 o'clock? Okay, I'll see you then. How do you want your coffee? Boom, bring coffee over, get to the house. I realize more people will say yes to an appointment at a time, at a place that's comfortable and convenient for them. So I used to go to a lot of people's houses, go by there and show a quick 20-minute video. There were some people, if I was pressed for time, I would drop a video off at their house in the mailbox and go to pick it up. So I'll give you that story in a minute. But let me go through why I say each thing. There's a reason behind this. See, I love the word part-time business. Part-time has become part of my daily vocabulary. Here's the difference. If I said, hey, John, I started a new business, John's thinking new business sounds like a lot of time, a lot of money, probably too much for me, right? Wouldn't you agree? But if I say, hey, John, I started a new part-time business, part-time sounds less time, less money. If Mike's doing something part-time, so could I. Second thing, hey, John, I'm really excited about this. And guys, they hear the excitement in my voice. Through a text message, you can't show your excitement. It's impossible. You can make one of those little smiley faces, but that ain't gonna help. An emoji. I'm not sure if it would be for you. Or John, this may or may not be for you. I'm telling him that if he looks at it and is not interested, I'm okay with it. It may or may not be for you. And I know it's not for everybody. Guys, everybody is not recruitable into this business or any other business. You got to realize that. Nobody's getting 100% of people. It's not going to happen. Even the best people don't get those numbers consistently. So you got to realize that a lot of people are going to tell you no about the business. The more no's you get, you're going to get yeses. And the last thing, do you keep your options open on making more money? Do you keep your options open on new business opportunities? And at that point, they're giving you permission to show them what you have. But here's where a lot of people go wrong. Once they get that person to say yes, they try to talk and explain it to them over a phone call. Now you're giving them the presentation wrong. Wrong. Now is the time for you to buy time, make an appointment, go meet the people, get them to look at a Success from Home magazine, share a story or two, and get them to look at a video. That's how you build a business. So that's my simple invitation. You see why it's simple? It's just short, simple, to the point. This is what I probably use the most, especially in the beginning, but it worked for me. Guys, I'm a big believer that if you go out there and you approach, let's say you start inviting 3 people and you're 3 for 3 or 2 for 3, it's doing pretty well. So keep going. Go for 3 more people. But if you're 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, stop at that point. Don't keep going to 10, 20 people and be 0 for 10, 0 for 20, 0 for 30. I know people say, oh, I'm 0 for 100. I'm like, you should have stopped when you were like 3 or 4. Call your